growing good, money good, relationships good, identity stable, right? Health good, but you still feel like you can't rest, you can't sit still, you got to move or fix something. Yeah, today in this episode, yeah, we talking about it, right? Because if you grew up in environments like I did with high achievers, right? If you grew up in environments with people who achieved a lot, entrepreneurs, then there's a good chance, good people, that what you call discipline is really urgency. And we're going to talk about it in this video today. What it do, good people? Welcome back to Soul Truth Sunday. Listen, I'm your host, FL, the life coach, right? But I'm your life coach. That's why you've been rocking with me every Sunday. That's why you keep showing up every Sunday. And in today's episode, man, what you call discipline really could just be urgency trauma, good people. And I'm going to break that thing down today on what urgency trauma really is. And then I'm going to give you my REST acronym to help you start building rest into your daily practices, or else you'll find yourself burnt out. So listen, man, if that's okay, listen, we about to jump right into it. Listen, remember, this is a live Q&A, right? This is a live Q&A. So if you got questions, drop them in the comments. Or if you just get on, let the community know where you from. Drop your name, drop your city or state where you from, baby. This is a community, man. We growing together, we regulating together, we doing our thing together, good people. You feel me? So listen, man, let's just jump right into it. Before I get into it, though, I want to say this, right? I want to say high achievers like myself, like yourself. Like I said, we don't struggle with motivation, good people. We don't struggle with discipline, vision, none of that. You know what we struggle with? High achievers, people like us, you know what we struggle with? Slowing ourselves down. We struggle with giving ourselves permission to rest, to slow down. So, you know what? At the end of this video, you're going to be able to give yourself permission so you can rest, slow down, and build that into your everyday systems and routine. So listen, man, let's just get right into it. Hey, it's story time right now, right? So listen, I grew up around entrepreneurs, right? Man, y'all hear me say that all the time. My mom and dad were entrepreneurs. My dad and grandmother were entrepreneurs. So as a kid coming up, I had entrepreneurship on both sides. Like I said, mom and dad side. So I remember being young, man, growing up around business, working like my summers, my spring breaks. I was always working in the family businesses, right? So as I got older, working in the family businesses, having money in my pocket, you know, I was the only 10 or 11-year-old with $200 or $300 in my pocket because I would go work spring break, summertime all day. And then I would just go hang out in the evening time, right? So I got used to that. My parents was working consistently because they was building businesses, right? Right? Entrepreneurship. You hear me always say this. Those first 7 years, those patterns, everything ain't bad, good people. You have to evaluate what's good, what's bad, what's serving you, and then double down on what serves you while you uproot what doesn't. So my parents were high achievers. My grandparents were high achievers. Like I said, my mom and dad had businesses. Then my dad and grandmother had businesses. They had a home health aid. They had a temp service. My mom and dad had a lawn business. My mom had a photo business. Like, dude, entrepreneurship just runs in the family. So why am I telling you that? Well, when you grow up in a household or environment with high achievers, right? Sometimes you learn certain things, right, that don't really serve you too well later along in your adult life. So, what am I talking about, right? So, listen, always scanning the environment. I wrote down this. So, now that I'm an adult, right, always scanning the environment, always thinking about the next move, associating stillness with laziness. That sound familiar? I wrote this down. I want you to hear this. Even when I was physically resting, my mind was still working, right? Because the environment, that I grew up in. I'm going somewhere. Stay with me, right? Those environments sometimes, like I said, in those first 7 years, the way we learn all the way up until the brain is fully developed, we learn through absorbing those environments. And sometimes when you grow up in certain environments like that, high achievement, success, your body learns something that I'm about to talk about that I call urgency trauma, right? But we disguise that as discipline, or we disguise that as just being a dog, but really it's our nervous system trying to release. And yeah, I'm about to get into it. So, what is urgency trauma really, good people? What is that, right? This is how I define urgency trauma. I define urgency trauma like this: when your nervous system, you hear me talk about nervous system work, it learns what? If you slow down, something will fall apart. If I stop moving, I'm being lazy. If I'm not producing, I'm falling behind, right? Because those environments, right? Not good, bad, or indifferent. I'm just saying, this is how your body learns. This is how the first 7 years that brain, the amygdala, learns by absorbing those types of behaviors, right? So when you grow up in family environments, like I just described, when you grow up in business environments, like I just described, or you might have grew up in environments where your parents hustled, they grinded, they had side hustles, any type of environments, man, that you grow up in where there's a lot of achievement, success. It doesn't necessarily have to be entrepreneurship. It can be achievement and success in any area, any career area. If you grow up seeing that, your body learns that stillness is not safe. Your body learns that movement equals safety. Your body learns that production equals praise and output equals worth. That's how the body learns. It's not good, bad, or indifferent. Our job is to recognize that, right? So we can separate that, right? So we can really get into those patterns, so we can really know what's really discipline and what's urgent. Stay with me. Stay with me. So listen, I'm gonna tie this into neuroscience, man. You know how I get down, baby. You know how I get down. I taught all this into neuroscience, right? So this is the breakdown that I want to talk about what was really happening in my body, right? What's really happening in your body, where you feel like you can't stop moving, where you feel like you can't rest, you can't sit down, but everything is handled. There's nothing to be fixed, there's nothing to be done. You've done it all, but yet you still right. So listen, like I just said before, your brain, when you grow up in those types of environments, your brain, when it grows up in high demand environments, the amygdala, this is what I wrote down, the amygdala learns to stay alert, right? The brain constantly scans for problems, even when it's not none, even when there's no problems to fix, even when there's nothing to do. Your nervous system, I wrote this down, stays in activation mode, right. It's always scanning their environment. It has to be something to do, because me being still doesn't feel safe, right? Constant mental movement, difficult resting, feeling guilty when you slow down. Does any of this sound familiar? Or is it just me, good people? Is it just me? I'm giving y'all the sauce on this today, right? Urgency conditioning. That's not discipline, good people. I'm talking about it from a space of telling you what I know and not what somebody told me, because your boy deals with it, because I grew up in those types of environments. So I had to learn how to really settle my nervous system, how to really reframe that, right? When that urgency is trying to get me to keep moving when everything is done, when I should be resting, when I should be chilling and enjoying the fruits of what I built. I'm on to the next one, trying to fix something. You got to calm it down, good people. You got to bring that down. So listen, I want you to hear this before I go on to the next part. Your brain learn that movement equals safety. You heard me say that earlier. Production equals worth. Performance equals praise. Y'all feel me? Okay, listen. Think about this. If you grew up in environments when you was a kid, you ever heard this? Oh, little Johnny, come out here and show them how you can do X, Y, Z. Or, ooh, little Sally, so smart, she can spell blah, blah, blah. Spell such and such, right? So every time you got praised, it was tied to a performance. That's not bad. I'm not saying your parents did that intentionally. I'm not saying the environments you grew up in meant to do that. All I'm trying to show you is your brain learns differently in those first 7 years. So if you grew up in environments like that, right? If you grew up in high achievement or high demand environments, it's a good chance now that you 30, 40, 50, you're still, even when there's nothing to be done, even when you've already built the systems, even when you already built the structure, like your boy had. You feel me? Like everything that I need to do, I've already built it. I built the digital structure. We built our systems. We got our Shopify store coming, right? And this week, your boy's urgency conditioning, man, was running rapid. So you know what I had to do, good people? I had to do the very thing that I teach you to do, right? I had to recognize the pattern, right? I had to regulate my nervous system in real time, right? Right? Then I had to get a revelation, right, on what to do in real time, right? Then I had to create a new rhythm in real time. And then I had to put that on repeat mode so I can truly dare to be me, right? That is the whole system or the process, right? That we have to continuously do to recognize the pattern, right? So today, you watching this right now, right? You might have everything flowing well in your life, but truly, you feel like you can't sit still, but truly, you feel like you can't rest. You know what that is? That's because urgent. Your nervous system feels like it has to fix, do, or move. You learned in early environments that movement equals safety. So now you're going to have to reframe that. Now you're going to have to retrain your nervous system to understand that stillness equals safety. That stillness equals expansion, right? Right? That stillness, right? Man, I wrote this down. I'm trying to get to what I wrote this down. That stillness equals, like I said, expansion, safety, creation. You have to learn to retrain your nervous system to feel safe when it's not movement, to feel safe when you're not producing, to feel safe when you're not doing things that's uh, outputting, right? Right? Production, output, movement, that always don't equal safe. You just learned that behavior, right? So listen, I'm about to give you my REST acronym right now. And then we about to get up out of here on Soul Truth Sunday, baby. Right? The REST acronym. This is an acronym that I built for my personal life that I use every time this urgency trauma tries to come up in your boy. I remember this acronym, good people. And I live by this acronym, good people. Right? So I'm about to give you this acronym today, and we about to get up out of here, right? REST, right? This is the acronym for REST. Recognize urgency trauma. I wrote down, notice when your mind says things like, I should be doing something, I gotta fix something, I gotta move. Pause instead of moving. That's the R, right? Recognize urgency trauma. The E, establish systems. Build systems so your life doesn't rely on constant movement. You got to retrain your nervous system to feel safe, right? Systems allow space. I wrote that down. Let that sink in. The S, slow down intentionally. See, life has a funny way of slowing us down if we don't slow down intentionally. And sometimes you don't want life to slow you down because sometimes that don't feel good. So you got to learn to slow yourself down intentionally, good people, right? Slow down intentionally. Stillness is where strategy, creativity, alignment, your peace, creation, expansion, growth, ideas. You want me to keep going? Stillness is where that happens, good people. You got to be still because there can be no revelation without regulation, right? And then the T, trust yourself, trust your systems, trust that things don't fall apart when you pause. Growth, I wrote this down, growth requires cycles of aligned action and stillness. I'm going to say that one more time. Growth, expansion, creativity, whatever word you want to use there, it requires cycles of action, aligned action, and stillness. You got to mix the two. You got to mix the two together. You can't do one or the other, right? Growth requires aligned action and stillness, right? So the next time you feel urgent, you feel like something needs to be done instantly, you feel like, man, I got to go move, I got to go do this, you feel like your worth is tied to production, slow yourself down. Remember this REST acronym. Remember this video. Replay this video, right? Come back to this video. Ask yourself a simple question. Is this something that really needs to be done? Or is this learned behavior? That's the question. That's the question we all have to ask. This is the question that I had to ask myself repeatedly this week. Because, like I said, doing this nervous system work is not a destination, good people. It's a journey. That's why you got to recognize, regulate, right? You got to get the revelation, right? You got to find a new rhythm, right? Then you got to put that on repeat mode if you want to dare to be you, because life is always going to bring moments for you to keep recognizing, right? We got to uproot those patterns. So today, as I close, I'm going to leave you with this. You don't want to kill your ambition, your drive, your motivation. No, you don't want to kill your survival loop, the amygdala. No, good people. The goal is not to kill that. The goal is to intentionally redirect it. That's the goal. That's the work. You don't want to kill the motivation and your drive and your discipline, but you do want to intentionally redirect it. I wrote this down because when you learn to master your nervous system, that creates safety. And when you create safety, that creates space for clarity, expansion, growth, ideas, and for you to dare to be you, to get down to your authenticity, right? So remember, when life starts lifing, remember when urgency trauma kicks in or urgency conditioning kicks in, you're not broken, so you don't need to be fixed. Ain't nothing wrong with you, right? You just need to slow down, right? Recognize, regulate, get the revelation, rhythm, repeat, so you can dare to be you, good people. And that is Soul Truth Sunday today. Urgency is not discipline. Stop mistaking your urgency, fight or flight, for discipline, because it's not. And when you truly separate the two, your life takes off because now you built in rest, and rest is needed for growth. So listen, man, that's Soul Truth Sunday. Remember to tap in every Sunday, 9 a.m. Central. We go deeper every single Sunday, good people. We have these type of conversations. This is nervous system work, right? This is Soul Truth. This helps you get down to the core of who you are outside the programs. That's what we do. So tell a friend and then pull up on your boy every Sunday, 9 a.m. The Married Life Podcast, episode 18. I think it's episode 18. It drops Tuesday. Every Tuesday, 2:30 p.m., we bring you a new episode, man. So go check that out. Listen, we working on some things for you good people, for the community, man. Our Shopify store is almost done. We got some merch coming. We got a Married Life product that's coming out next month that's going to help you level up your communication in your marriages. Listen, I told you this year that I was going to help you hatch, regulate, transform, be the best version of yourself. And I'm going to keep my promise. So let's keep growing. Let's keep transforming. Let's keep regulating our nervous system together, good people. FL the Life Coach, always spreading that peace and love twice on Sunday. Go out, attract the life of your dreams. Appreciate y'all for joining Soul Truth Sunday. Until next time, same bad channel. Y'all already know what to do, good people. There to be you. Happy Sunday. And remember, urgency is not discipline. Have a great day.